Welcome to a series of tutorials on access control lists or ACLs. This is part 1. Access control lists are rule-based lists that are used by routers and switches to identify traffic. This traffic can be identified based on the IP source or destination address or by port numbers. Its main use is to deny or permit traffic on the network. So in this setup, we are going to create a standard ACL. As you can see in the notes here, I have them using numbers between 1 and 99. In this setup, we have two networks connected via static routes. We have the 2.0 network and we have the 1.0 network, and we also have the 3.0 network setup here. It is important to note that standard access lists have to be applied to the port closest to its destination. So in this case, the port closest to the destination is this port on the network, which is the FA0/1, which is the .1.1, and it is the outbound because we are trying to move from this source to this source, so it's closest to the destination on that port. So next we want to we want to ping to make sure that we can communicate with the network on the left. So we go to the command prompt and we ping the computer on the left, 192. Wait for ARP to kick in. Great. Next. Great. So for our standard ACL, we are going to be denying this PC here, the 2.101, and we're going to be still allowing the 2.100 from connecting to this network on the left. So we go to the router. Right, so to query the list, we go to access list. Let's do a question mark here. So here we can see we are doing a standard ACL. So we use any number between 1 and 99. So let's use 1. So question mark. Here we can either deny, permit, or remark. We want to deny. And we set it from the source IP. The source IP here being the 2.101. 68 2.1.1. We must use the wildcard mask. Next, because standard ACLs has an invisible implicit deny rule at the end of each list, we must use a permit any statement in order for this PC here, the 2.100, to be allowed to connect to the network. So do our permit statement, permit, and in this case we want to permit any, which will include any other PC on this network to access the 1.0 network. Oh, to spell permit wrong. And let's do a save. Let's do a show run. Make sure that list was created. Here, deny host and permit any. Because standard ACL has to be applied closest to its destination, we have now to apply to the access list to this interface. Let's go back in conft and we go interface phase 0/1, and we do a IP access group. Oh, my bad. Input IP. IP access group. What's going on here, right? Right. Here we can see for both standard and extended lists, we can use any number between 1 and 199. In this case, we want to use 1. And it has to be applied closest to its destination. In this case, it's the outbound. So we want to put out. Let's do a save here now. Let's do a show run. Here we can see the interface now has an IP access group 1 out of this interface here, and we still have our denying the host and permitting any. So let's do a test from the permit. That went through well. We have a reply, and we now see this host is unreachable. But let's try adding another host to the network. Let's give it an IP address. Let's give it a 192, 103, a gateway. Let's try to see if this with the permit any statement. Let's see if we can communicate with the network on the left. And we see that being successful. So in our part 2 of our tutorial, we're going to take a closer look at a good access list versus a bad access list.